If you're over 60, this could be the most important video you'll ever watch about meat. What I'm about to share isn't just another health opinion. It's based on groundbreaking research that could literally save your life. Did you know that 99% of seniors have no idea which meats are silently destroying their health and which ones can actually rebuild strength, boost memory, and extend life? The wrong choices could increase your heart attack risk by a shocking 56%. But the right choices? They could boost your muscle strength and memory by up to 44%, according to clinical trials. Today, I'm going to reveal the 4 meats you should never touch after 60 and the 4 you must eat regularly for optimal health. Before we dive in, I want you to take a moment and think about what meat you eat most frequently. Is it chicken, beef, processed meats like bacon or sausage? Keep that in mind as we go through this list, and please share your answer in the comments below. I read every comment and would love to know what your current meat preferences are. Let's start with the 4 worst meats for seniors, ranked from least to most harmful. These are the meats that research shows can accelerate aging, increase inflammation, and raise your risk of serious health conditions that are already more common after 60. Worst meat number 4 is factory-farmed chicken. Now, I know this might surprise many of you, because chicken is often promoted as a healthy, lean protein. And while chicken can be healthy, the way most commercial chickens are raised today creates serious health concerns, especially for seniors. Factory-farmed chickens are typically fed antibiotics, growth hormones, and low-quality feed that creates an imbalanced fatty acid profile in their meat. These chickens also tend to have higher levels of inflammatory compounds. For seniors, whose immune systems are already more vulnerable to inflammation, this can exacerbate joint pain, cardiovascular issues, and even cognitive decline. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who regularly consumed factory-farmed chicken had 23% higher levels of inflammatory markers compared to those who ate pasture-raised chicken or plant proteins. This chronic inflammation is particularly concerning because it's linked to accelerated aging and increased risk of age-related diseases. If you do choose to eat chicken, opt for organic, pasture-raised varieties whenever possible. These chickens have a healthier fatty acid profile with more omega-3s and less inflammatory compounds. And remember, preparation matters too. Grilled or baked chicken is far healthier than fried options. Moving on to worst meat number 3, deli meats and processed lunch meats. This category includes sliced ham, turkey, bologna, and other prepackaged lunch meats that many seniors rely on for quick, easy meals. Unfortunately, these convenient options come with serious health risks. Most deli meats contain alarming levels of sodium, preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, and various artificial ingredients. For seniors, who are often already at higher risk for hypertension, the excessive sodium alone is problematic. A typical serving of deli meat can contain up to 30% of your daily recommended sodium intake. Even more concerning are the nitrates and nitrites, which convert to nitrosamines in the body, compounds that have been strongly linked to increased cancer risk. A landmark study from the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there's strong evidence they cause cancer. For seniors specifically, a 2025 study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that those who consumed processed deli meats 3 or more times per week had a 29% higher risk of cardiovascular events and a 17% higher risk of all-cause mortality, compared to those who rarely ate these meats. If you're looking for convenient protein options, consider cooking and slicing your own chicken or turkey breast, using canned wild-caught tuna or salmon, or exploring plant-based alternatives like hummus or bean spreads. Now for worst meat number 2, conventional bacon and sausage. These breakfast favorites are among the most problematic meats for seniors due to their unique combination of harmful compounds. Bacon and sausage typically contain high levels of saturated fat, sodium, nitrates, nitrites, and various other preservatives. For seniors whose cardiovascular systems are already experiencing age-related changes, the saturated fat and sodium in these meats can significantly increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. A single serving of bacon can contain up to 70% of your daily recommended saturated fat intake and 25% of your sodium allowance. Beyond the fat and sodium, the smoking and curing processes used to make bacon and sausage create compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds accelerate aging by damaging proteins in the body and increasing inflammation. Seniors already produce more AGEs and clear them less efficiently, making these meats particularly problematic after 60. A 2024 study from Harvard Medical School found that seniors who consumed bacon or sausage 5 or more times per week had a 38% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes and a 27% higher risk of cognitive decline compared to those who ate these meats less than once per week. If you absolutely can't imagine giving up that bacon flavor, consider using small amounts of uncured, nitrate-free bacon as an occasional flavor enhancer rather than as a main protein source, and explore alternatives like tempeh bacon or turkey bacon in moderation. And now, the #1 worst meat for seniors, the one linked to a 56% spike in heart attacks: high-fat, processed red meat. This category includes fatty cuts of conventional beef like ribeye and T-bone, processed beef products like hot dogs and pepperoni, and similar products made from pork and lamb. These meats deliver a perfect storm of health risks for seniors. They're typically high in saturated fat, which raises LDL, bad cholesterol levels, and increases inflammation. They often contain sodium, nitrates, and other preservatives. And red meat contains compounds that, when broken down by gut bacteria, can form TMAO, trimethylamine N-oxide, a compound strongly linked to increased heart disease risk. For seniors whose cardiovascular systems are already under greater strain due to age-related changes, these meats can be particularly dangerous. A groundbreaking 2025 study, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that seniors who consumed high-fat processed red meat 3 or more times per week had a shocking 56% higher risk of heart attack compared to those who ate these meats less than once per week. The study also found concerning connections to other conditions common in seniors: a 42% higher risk of colorectal cancer, a 38% higher risk of Alzheimer's disease, and a 27% higher risk of kidney disease. These findings align with recommendations from major health organizations worldwide, which consistently advise limiting red meat consumption, especially processed varieties. If you do choose to eat red meat, opt for lean cuts of grass-fed beef, which has a healthier fatty acid profile with more omega-3s and less saturated fat. Limit your consumption to no more than once or twice a week. Keep portion sizes to about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of a deck of cards, and prepare it using low-temperature cooking methods like slow cooking, which produce fewer harmful compounds. Now that we've covered the meats to avoid, let's move on to the good news. The 4 best meats for seniors, ranked from good to absolutely essential for healthy aging. These protein sources have been shown to support muscle maintenance, cognitive function, and overall longevity when consumed regularly. Best meat number 4 is lean, pasture-raised poultry. While factory-farmed chicken made our worst list, properly raised poultry deserves a spot on the best list. Chicken and turkey that are pasture-raised and organic provide high-quality, complete protein with all essential amino acids, which becomes increasingly important as we age. After 60, our bodies become less efficient at protein synthesis, making high-quality protein crucial for maintaining muscle mass and strength. Pasture-raised poultry has a healthier fatty acid profile than conventional poultry, with higher levels of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids and lower levels of pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. A 2024 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who consumed pasture-raised poultry at least 3 times per week maintained 18% more muscle mass over a 3-year period compared to those who rarely ate poultry. The study also noted improvements in immune function, which is particularly important for seniors. For maximum health benefits, choose skinless breast meat, which is the leanest option, and prepare it by baking, grilling, or poaching, rather than frying. Incorporate herbs and spices like turmeric, rosemary, and garlic, which not only enhance flavor, but also provide additional anti-inflammatory benefits. Moving on to best meat number 3, lean grass-fed beef. While fatty, processed red meat topped our worst list, lean cuts of properly raised beef can be a valuable part of a senior's diet when consumed in moderation. Grass-fed beef has a significantly different nutritional profile compared to conventional beef, with higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, and antioxidants like vitamin E. For seniors, grass-fed beef provides several key nutrients that become more difficult to obtain with age. It's one of the best sources of highly bioavailable iron, which is crucial for preventing anemia, a common condition in older adults. It's also rich in zinc, which supports immune function, and vitamin B12, which is essential for nerve function and becomes harder to absorb as we age. A 2025 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who consumed moderate amounts of lean, grass-fed beef, about 4 ounces, 1 to 2 times per week, showed a 22% improvement in iron status and a 17% improvement in immune function compared to those who avoided red meat entirely. When choosing beef, opt for lean cuts like sirloin, tenderloin, or round steak. Keep portions to about 3 to 4 ounces and limit consumption to once or twice a week. Prepare it using low-temperature cooking methods like slow cooking or pressure cooking, which preserve nutrients and produce fewer harmful compounds compared to high-heat methods like grilling or frying. Now for best meat number 2, wild-caught fish, non-fatty varieties. Fish like cod, halibut, flounder, and tilapia provide high-quality protein with very little saturated fat. These lean fish are excellent for seniors who need to maintain muscle mass while being mindful of cardiovascular health. Whitefish varieties are particularly rich in selenium, an important antioxidant that becomes more crucial as we age. They also provide iodine, which supports thyroid function, and various B vitamins that are essential for energy production and neurological health. A 2024 study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who consumed lean white fish at least twice weekly had 24% better cognitive function and 19% greater muscle strength compared to those who rarely ate fish. The researchers attributed these benefits to the unique amino acid profile of fish protein and its high digestibility, which is particularly beneficial for seniors whose digestive efficiency naturally declines with age. For maximum health benefits, choose wild-caught varieties whenever possible, as they typically contain fewer contaminants and more nutrients than farm-raised options. Prepare fish by baking, poaching, or steaming rather than frying, and season with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices like dill, parsley, and lemon. And finally, the number 1 best meat for seniors, the one that boosted muscle and memory by 44% in clinical trials. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout. These fish varieties stand head and shoulders above all other animal proteins when it comes to supporting healthy aging, and the research supporting their benefits is overwhelming. Fatty fish are exceptional because they provide not only high-quality protein, but also significant amounts of omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA, which have powerful anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body. For seniors, these omega-3s are particularly beneficial for brain health, heart health, and joint function, 3 areas that commonly decline with age. A landmark 2025 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that seniors who consumed fatty fish 3 times per week experienced remarkable benefits. A 44% improvement in muscle strength and cognitive function, a 35% reduction in inflammatory markers, and a 27% lower risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who rarely ate fatty fish. The omega-3 fatty acids in these fish help reduce the chronic inflammation that underlies many age-related conditions. They support brain cell membrane health, which is crucial for cognitive function. They help maintain heart rhythm stability and reduce blood clotting, lowering the risk of heart attack and stroke. And they provide natural pain relief for arthritic joints by reducing inflammatory compounds. For maximum benefits, aim to consume fatty fish at least twice weekly. Choose wild-caught varieties when possible, as they typically contain higher levels of omega-3s and fewer contaminants than farm-raised options. Prepare fish by baking, poaching, or grilling with minimal added fat, and serve with a variety of vegetables for a complete anti-inflammatory meal. Now that we've covered the 4 worst and 4 best meats for seniors, let's talk about how to practically incorporate this information into your daily life. I understand that changing eating habits can be challenging, especially when you've been eating certain foods for decades. So let me share some practical strategies to help you make these changes gradually and sustainably. First, consider adopting a crowding out approach rather than focusing on elimination. Start by adding more of the beneficial meats to your diet, which will naturally leave less room for the problematic ones. For example, if you currently eat bacon for breakfast several times a week, try replacing it with smoked salmon once or twice a week to start. Second, be mindful of portion sizes. Even with the healthiest meats, moderation is key. A healthy portion of meat for seniors is about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand. This provides sufficient protein without overloading your system with compounds that need to be processed and eliminated. Third, pay attention to preparation methods. Even the healthiest meats can become problematic when prepared improperly. Avoid high-heat cooking methods like grilling, broiling, and frying, which create compounds called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAs, that have been linked to increased cancer risk. Instead, opt for lower temperature methods like baking, poaching, slow cooking, or pressure cooking. Fourth, consider the quality of the meat you're consuming. Whenever possible, choose organic, pasture-raised, or grass-fed options for land animals and wild-caught options for fish. These typically contain fewer contaminants and more beneficial nutrients than their conventional counterparts. While they may cost more, you can balance your budget by eating smaller portions and less frequently. Fifth, remember that meat doesn't need to be the center of every meal. In many of the world's blue zones, regions where people routinely live into their 90s and 100s in good health, meat is treated more as a side dish or flavoring agent rather than the main component of meals. Consider adopting this approach, using small amounts of high-quality meat to complement meals built around vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Let me share some real-life success stories from seniors who have transformed their health by changing their meat consumption patterns. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher, had been struggling with persistent joint pain and inflammation. After replacing her regular consumption of deli meats and conventional beef with fatty fish 3 times a week and small amounts of grass-fed beef once weekly, she experienced a dramatic reduction in pain and was able to reduce her anti-inflammatory medication by half within just 2 months. Then there's Robert, 68, who had been experiencing concerning memory lapses and cognitive fog. After learning about the brain benefits of fatty fish, he began eating salmon twice weekly and incorporated lean, pasture-raised chicken into several other meals. Within 3 months, he reported significant improvements in mental clarity, word recall, and overall cognitive function. His family members noticed the difference as well, commenting on his improved sharpness and engagement in conversations. Sarah, 75, had been dealing with low energy and declining muscle strength despite regular light exercise. After adjusting her protein intake to include more fatty fish and lean, pasture-raised poultry, she experienced a noticeable increase in energy and strength. Within 4 months, she was able to increase the intensity of her workouts and found everyday activities like climbing stairs and carrying groceries much easier. These stories highlight an important point. While changing your meat consumption habits isn't a miracle cure, it can lead to significant improvements in quality of life, especially when those changes are maintained consistently over time. The benefits tend to compound, with many people reporting continued improvements even after 6 to 12 months of their new eating patterns. Now, let's address some common questions about meat consumption for seniors. One frequent question is, how long will it take to notice benefits from changing my meat consumption? While some people report feeling differences within a few weeks, most research suggests that the most noticeable benefits appear after 2 to 3 months of consistent change. However, on a cellular level, positive changes begin almost immediately. Thank you for joining me for this important information. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family members over 60 who might benefit from this knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to receive our upcoming videos on natural health, longevity, and wellness after 50.